You know, when it comes to wrestling, when I think about wrestling, I think about how passionate the business used to be. When I think about wrestling, I think about Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania with the special guest referee Mike Tyson. I think about how Stone Cold Steve Austin screwed over Shawn Michaels and how Mike Tyson knocked out the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. It was around that time when I started watching wrestling. It was around the time when the new world order of professional wrestling, the NWO, had just came together. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It took them. It took three of them to come together and be real with the fans. It came down to them being real as fuck to come together. And not only did they change the world of professional wrestling, but they made it cool again. WWE had no choice but to step up their game. WCW was gaining traction. WCW were stealing their viewers, their fans. WCW was starting to be a lot more cooler than WWE. Nobody wanted to watch WWE anymore. You had the NWO on WWE. What did you have? What did you have? Nothing. Nothing but garbage. It's because of WCW the Attitude Era was born. It's because of the NWO the Attitude Era was born. We had guys like Rocky Maivia step up their game. We had guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels to create D-Generation X to step up their game. We had guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Godfather, Val Venus. We had everyone come together and change this shit up. When I think about wrestling, I think about those times. Anything after 2005 and up is garbage. Absolute garbage. After WWE won the Monday Night Wars and bought WCW, the shit hit the fan. WCW started to get comfortable. WCW started to get repetitive. WCW was starting to give us garbage. This whole NWO thing went too far. They took it way too far. When WCW was bought by WWE, nobody knew where to go. Yeah, sure, some guys signed with the WWE, and WWE tried to revive WCW, but they were missing a bunch of key players like Bill Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sting. I mean, it was not the same anymore. Then WWE started to get stale. Then WWE started to get comfortable as well. Then WWE started to treat their talent like shit. And all the guys in the back, all the great talent that they had, they kept them down. For what? The only reason why WWE signed any of the new talent they have now was because that way they can have them to themselves. They don't want nobody else to have what they don't really want. But they don't want nobody else to have what they have because they know that anybody else out there can make stars. They know that on their own they can become superstars. So night after night after night after night after night, WWE has been giving us garbage. I mean, you had guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Undertaker, Kane. I mean, you had all those guys, The Rock. They tried to stick around as much as they could, but they couldn't. They were getting too old, their bodies were too beat up, and they were going on to do big and better things for themselves. I come out here and I talk about wrestling. It's because I am very passionate about wrestling. I've been watching wrestling for a very long time now. I come out here and I make this podcast because I love to talk about wrestling, professional wrestling. And I just started doing these podcasts because I was on YouTube and I was so frustrated. I was so mad. I was so just disgusted with wrestling. Then I started seeing these YouTubers make their own podcasts and voice their opinions on how they felt Monday Night Raw or SmackDown was, and either they would shit all over the show or they would give them high, praises. I started watching guys like, Sean View Entertainment. I started watching guys like Joe Cronin. I started watching guys like JD from NY206. And I got to listening because, like, everything they were saying, I was thinking. And I'm like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that thinks WWE is going down the drain. I'm not the only one that thinks Monday Night Raw sucked. I'm not the only one that thinks that SmackDown sucked. They came out, they voiced their opinions, I listened, and I agreed. And I watched, and I watched, and I watched, and I watched. And the more I watched, the more I thought to myself, why can't I come out here and start my own podcast and talk about wrestling and rage my opinions on how much I think the WWE is garbage, they suck, they're done, it's over. Nobody wants to see the same shit night after night after night after night. Nobody wants to see the same rivalries last for 3 to 6 months. You have new talent in NXT. You have new talent in the UK. You have new talent on Raw, on SmackDown. Mix it up. Change it up. Do something different. Because the fact of the matter is this. Everything you're doing has been done 1,000 different times. Every single year, things stay the same. There are new faces, but things stay the same. I come out here to not just rage about wrestling, about WWE. I come out here to rage because since I've started this channel, I started with my wife. It was the JT and Candy show. We started this podcast together, and we were going to make it the #1 podcast on YouTube. It has been a year and a half, maybe. And I have gained 45 subscribers. And I am frustrated because I've tried, I've made videos, and I don't know what else to do. I am grateful for the subscribers I have now, but I should have more subscribers. YouTube is doing something that is fucking me up, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm making these videos, and I know I should have more than 45 subscribers. And if you're watching this show and you're like, oh, wow, why should I subscribe to your channel? Because you should subscribe to this channel, because this channel is the realest channel in the game. I will give you facts, I will give you details, and I will give you my opinion. But at the end of the day, this is your show. This is that wrestling show. And I am that wrestling guy. And I am going to give you the truth. And I am going to give you the facts. And I am going to give you my opinions. And if you don't like it, cool. Voice your opinions. Let me know how you feel. But at the end of the day, hit the subscribe button. Don't be a joker and walk away and say, oh, this video sucked. But you know what? If it sucked, cool. Hit the subscribe button anyways. Because the only way that the WWE is going to listen to each and every one of us is if we all voice our opinions together and come together to destroy this supposedly WWE entertainment. We all have to come together and do something about it. I come out here day after day after day, and I make these videos, and it's for nothing because all I get is 5 views, 10 views, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 or 20. But the fact of the matter is this: it's not enough. It's not enough. This is completely bullshit. Something has to change. And something is going to change. As a matter of fact, something has already changed in wrestling, in professional wrestling. I give you 3 letters. A, E, W. All Elite Wrestling. Every single guy who were not given a chance in the beginning, who WWE decided, oh no, we're not going to sign you because you suck. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You don't look good enough. We're going to send you to the wasteland. Guys like Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Marty Squirrel. Guys like FCU. They all have been thrown away like trash, like garbage. They all have been wasted on WWE. WWE has had the greatest talent they had ever had in their lifetime. But instead of making superstars, they decide to destroy superstars. For example, like Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw. Did she deserve to get screwed the way she got screwed? She won the Royal Rumble. She earned her spot at WrestleMania. To have Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and come out and say, oh, you have to apologize or you have to be seen by a doctor. Who cares? If she wants to fight injured, let her fight injured. If she's injured, she's injured. So what? That is on her. If she loses the match, it's because she did not want to be seen by a doctor and it's her fault. Let her live with that guilt. But when it's all said and done, she went and got seen by a doctor. And yeah, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon came out and say, okay, you're good to go. But to have Vincent Kennedy McMahon come down the stage, not by himself, but with Charlotte, to come out and say, Becky Lynch, screw you, you're suspended for 60 days. And not only are you suspended for 60 days, you've lost your shot to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania for the women's championship title. And not only did you lose your spot, but Becky, Charlotte is taking your slot at WrestleMania. What did Charlotte do to earn that slot? Who did she wrestle to earn that slot? She didn't do a goddamn thing to earn that slot. All because she's Ric Flair's daughter. All because she's the new corporate sellout. Vince McMahon says, Charlotte, you're up. You're taking Becky Lynch's slot. Vince McMahon just created the biggest heel in professional wrestling right now, besides Daniel Bryan. Charlotte has just become the most hated. It was Nia Jax, but you know what? Charlotte just took Nia Jax's spot and became the most hated woman in professional wrestling right now. Becky Lynch did not deserve to get screwed the way she got screwed. Becky Lynch earned her spot, earned her slot at WrestleMania. Sure, the way she did it was kind of like, manipulative and like, opportunity. Like it was opportune. It was she took an opportune time and she made it her own and she earned her way in to the Royal Rumble and she won it. Yeah, Lana was injured. Her leg was supposedly injured, but who cares? She was smart enough to do that. And it worked. It worked. She won the Royal Rumble, and she earned her slot to go to WrestleMania. Now, she got injured by Nia Jax, of course, before all that happened. But that is because Nia Jax is careless. She is the one that should be suspended for 60 days. Not being rewarded the tag team championship titles, because that's where that's headed. Nia Jax, Tamina, the new WWE Women Tag Team Champions. The fact of the matter is this: Becky Lynch got screwed, and guys and women like her who get screwed, in the past, they didn't have anywhere else to go. It was either WWE or go to the Indies. And back in the day, the Indies was a place you didn't want to be. Back in the day, when you thought about going to the Indies, you thought about getting a demotion. But today, in the last 3 years, going to the Indies not only just means that you're done with WWE and you're out of your contract, but it also means you're going to get a raise because in the Indies there is a revolution. And their name, they were the Bullet Club. Our version of the New World Order, NWO. Oh, you remember the O and NWO. Oh, you didn't know? The NWO changed the platform for professional wrestling. It made WWE change their game. It scared WWE to change their game. And when Vince McMahon bought WCW, he thought the Monday Night Wars was over. He thought that he had won the war. No, Vince McMahon, you won the battle. But the war was never over. The war is coming to your house. The war is AEW. All Elite Wrestling. And not only are they legit, not only are they built with all the superstars that you thought couldn't become a superstar, but they are backed by a billionaire. And that billionaire is telling Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, who do you want and how much you need. Who do you want to save and what's it going to take? How far do you want to go? And how much destruction do you want to create? When the Young Bucks were tested and they went all in September, everyone thought they were going to crumble. Everyone thought that, oh, you know, you're going to do this and it's going to fail and, you know, you're going to like, oh, come on, like, let's all get together and like create a pay-per-view and let's see what happens. And, you know, we have our own little YouTube channel and people are watching us and it's getting big and whatever. But let's do it. Let's try it. And everyone else's eyes, you're like, you're going to fail, bro. You're going to fail. Vince McMahon's like, oh, I don't have to worry about Cody Rhodes. He was Stardust. I fired his ass. I don't have to worry about the Young Bucks. I fired them when they were young. When they were new talent. Kenny Omega, oh, he was in here for a couple months, but whatever. No, Vince. When the Bullet Club went all in, they won the house. And not only did they win the house, they sold 10,000 tickets in less than 30 minutes. And All In ended up being one of the greatest wrestling shows I have ever seen in my entire life since 1999. It was a success. All In was a success. So when you had Tony Khan approach the Bullet Club, he asked them, do you really want to change the world? They said yes. And then he asked them again, well, you went all in. You went all in and you succeeded. But Nick, Matt, Kenny, Adam, you went all in, but are you willing to go double or nothing? And what do you think that they said? They put in all their chips and they went double or nothing. And now they are at it again. They are going to do it again. They are going to perform. They are going to create the biggest pay-per-view that professional wrestling has ever had in a very long time. Double or nothing in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the MGM Grand Arena. You better believe I bought tickets. You better believe I'm going to be at that show. And I'm going to sit and enjoy. Yeah, I might have paid an arm and a leg for those tickets, but the fact of the matter is I am willing to go double or nothing as well. I am willing to go double or nothing for this channel. My goal is to get to up to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers. All the way up to double or nothing. That is my goal. So if you are one of those who wants to change the world, not only on television but on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below. This is the Broken Mic. On this show, we keep it real. On this show, we keep it fresh. I come out here, I give you your news and then rumors, and I give you my opinions and my thoughts. And I tell you how it is. Whether it's AEW, WWE, TNA, NWA, it simply doesn't matter because this show is about professional wrestling. That's exactly what you're going to get. Now, just like the captions say, if you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe down below. Follow the show on Twitter at That Wrestling Show. Share the video and hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the show and become a new member of AEW. Become one of the elite. Become a member of the TWS. This is That Wrestling Show. I am your host, That Wrestling Guy, and I am about to go and sign off. So, until then, good night, good morning, good afternoon when you're watching this. But the fact of the matter is this: good night and good riddance.